we fighting tonight?
This is the one right here.
Am I supposed to be up on it? Hello.
No, you're not supposed to be up on it. No.
Oh, okay.
640,000 people failed us. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Now,
am I supposed to be surprised?
For those who just coming in, you're not aware of what we're talking about.
Who are we?
Well, my name is Frankie P.
I'm Maria P.
And this is the BS of Entrepreneurship broadcast, I should say. And this edition is going towards the Blackout the 4th. You can't even see my shirt. Blackout the 4th. Yay, yay, baby. Yay, yay. That's the logo.
Yeah. I guess he should have brought it up. You need a T-shirt.
Yeah,
some buttons.
It needs to be the buttons.
Yeah, we're gonna perfect this shirt.
Yeah, we're going.
I think it looks really nice. Maybe you should stand up into the camera or something. Oh, you can see it on this one, but that one you can't see.
Yeah, you come on over.
Oh,
there you go. This is the one.
He just wants him to be up on him.
This is the one right. Looking forward. This is where right here. We got TikTok over here. We got YouTube here, and we got Facebook and Instagram.
Hi, Facebook, Instagram.
Over
hi,
here.
YouTube.
You guys will get the replay.
TikTok. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't even start you up over here, but hey, there you go. Facebook, TikTok. You on now? But 640,000 people failed us, and you saying what are you talking about, Frankie P? What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And what. The reason I'm bringing that up is because we had a special election here in Prince George's County, Maryland, for the county executive, and we have 670,000. We have 670,000 residents that are eligible to vote. We have over 900,000 residents, but we have 670,000 residents who are eligible to vote, and an astounding, whopping 31,000. We just had 31,000 out of the 670,000 people who were eligible to vote. Only 31,000 people took the time out to pull the lever, mail in their ballot, whatever it is, whatever analogy you want to use. And now let me ask you, Maria, why do you believe that is happening with a lot of people, and they have the opportunity?
Because they don't feel it's important. They don't really understand the importance of voting. I'm going to be honest. I didn't for several years. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until, I think, Donald Trump's era that I started hearing about the local level. You got to vote in people that you want at the local level so that they can fight for us in Congress and in the House against the president. So that's when I really started getting involved and making sure that I did vote, and trying to figure out who these people were. Like what's her name? Angela, Aisha, all of those people. They represent us. They take our concerns, I guess, to the House or to the Senate or the Congress. Mm-hmm. So it is important to vote at these levels. It's just not for somebody else. It's for us, every last one of us. And of course, it's really important right now. And a lot is at stake. Yeah,
I was a bit concerned just hearing the numbers. I was kind of shocked at hearing the low turnout. And the reason I believe that for me, the reason I believe that it hits me a little harder is because that's that's the platform that I'm on now. My platform that I am taking to the public is your voting rights. Now I'll be totally transparent about myself. When I was 18, I could care less about an election. I knew that was my civic duty, so I did it just because I knew that's what I was. Hey, that's the dog trying to get in here where he's not supposed to be. he said he saw a little opening. He was just going to take it. No, he's not going to take it. But yeah, my civic duty. I didn't know what my civic duty was, but I did it just because the rest of society was going to do it. Now,
well, was it that you didn't know, or you just didn't understand the urgency in that vote, or how important your vote was? Because yeah, we were told to vote, but nobody stressed it. Nobody actually for me, I can't speak for you. For me, it wasn't like a super duper concern. You know, that, or I didn't take it as a super concern at that age during that period of time.
Yeah.
I made sure that I voted for the president and the vice president in that election, but the regular elections, I didn't vote. Like I said, not until, 10 years ago? 10 years?
What, that you started voting?
For the local elections.
Oh, the local elections.
Yes.
Okay. I've always done it. Let's go over here to TikTok, and Osei is saying it may be too late because we don't educate. We want to be entertained. I believe that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, 100%. We want to be entertained. A lot of the sites that you go on, even though when I go on TikTok and I look at some of the, I guess they call boards, that when they come, the panelists, a lot of the panelists, it just seems that they want to argue with each other. They may even have the same viewpoint, but it seems like everyone wants to just, oh man, that's a great point that you made. Everybody wants to have that one point that somebody says, you know what, I really never thought about that. But we agree on 90% of the things, but they all want to be argumentative on on one point. Like, come on now, we don't need that.
Well, I've never even seen any arguments at this level. I read what I could read about each candidate and made a decision based on the news, what I heard in the news, and what I read. But I've never seen a debate with anybody. What you saw a debate?
No. If you're on TikTok, if you look at TikTok, they'll have the panelists on there, and each person, they'll have between 6 and 8 panelists, and they'll go back and forth, and they'll debate. This is every day.
Do you guys see this on TikTok?
You see it on TikTok. If you see it, tap the screen. Tap the screen on TikTok. Screen. If you see
and
the
share
panelists.
our video.
Yeah. Share the video.
Is it a video?
It is. It's a live. Share the live.
It is. But we do think it's really important at this point. We really, Black folks, we got to get out there and do our part. We cannot go to work and say, I'm tired, I'm not going to vote. If you don't, I stopped going to the polls. I only do the mail-in ballot now. So you can get a mail-in ballot and they will continue to send it to you. So that may be the easiest way for us to get our voices heard. Now, so at this point, Aisha is the Democratic.
She is the Democratic nominee for the county executive,
and I think McDermott is the Republican.
He would be the Republican candidate for the county executive. Now, being in the Prince George's County area, we are heavily Democratic. So typically in Washington D.C. or if you're in Southern Maryland, if you are the Democratic nominee 95% of the time, you are going to win, unless you were what was our governor name? Hogan. Now he was a Republican. He was a two-term Republican, and I believe he did a pretty good job. But for myself, I look at myself as probably being more independent, but I typically lean on policies. A lot of the policies I typically will probably be center right, but on the social issues, I'm more center left. Okay, and I think that's what probably makes me independent. But on the policies, a lot of the policies I can get behind with the Republican Party. On this particular cycle, I can't get behind any of the policies simply because of the person leading the party. I cannot get behind the mindset of a person who I wouldn't hire that person. If that person came to my job and I was interviewing you, I would look at your resume and I don't even know if I would give you a shot to work for my company. So why would I want to put you in a position where you're in leadership? I just can't fathom that part. So how do you look at it?
You lost me. because I was thinking somebody had
what
said
did
we
they
need
say?
to do community meetings, so forth and so on. So
Oh,
Jolene
okay.
Ivy emailed me. I do get emails, and I try to read all of that stuff and try to keep
This is
up.
on TikTok. We're on TikTok.
Huh?
We're talking to TikTok.
Oh, we're talking to TikTok. But anyway, Jolene Ivy emailed everybody that's on his email list and said that he's doing a town hall at Suitland at 6:30 on Tuesday. I don't know. Maybe you can look him up because you have to register. But
If you're in the
at
Prince
this
George's
point,
County area, this is if you're in the
yeah,
Prince
if this
George's.
is PG County, Maryland, at this point, show up. Let
Yeah,
them know that
that's probably one of the the first steps is show up.
at Suitland High School on Silver Hill Road on Tuesday night at 6:30 for the person who said we should have a community meeting or town hall. There's one coming up, and I'm sure he might. Well, I'm not going to say what I'm sure of, but he's probably going to do them in different areas. So if you're out
Throughout the county.
yeah, but I say we all need to just start showing up and start hollering at folks,
Voicing your opinion.
like I see them doing at these other town halls.
And voicing your opinion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because when you don't voice your opinion, they just believe that you don't care.
Right.
So let's make our voices.
Well, as a matter of fact, I believe they know we don't care. Okay, it's not important enough to us. It's only a handful of us that it's important to, and it's just not enough. So we got to get, and especially younger people in their 20s and 30s, we need to really reach out to them. So if you're moms and dads out there, get your kids involved. Because they're the future. Mm-hmm. We well, I know for us, we're almost out on the outs at this point, and I just want to go to the pasture. Okay.
No, we're
I'm ready to sit down. But
now, my juices are flowing. My juices are flowing because I can see where the path we're going down, and I do not like the path we're going down for my children, for my relatives. I just don't like the path. When I hear someone say you don't have to vote again, I have an issue. I have a true issue. I have a real issue with someone who says you don't have to vote again. I was looking at and the reason I feel that way is because I've been on my research that I've been doing. I've been looking at how or what could happen that it's a setup. I'm just looking at the things that are happening along the way and how it could be a setup to be an existential threat to our voting rights.
It's been a setup. This has been going on for a while,
and we've just been asleep at the wheel. Yeah. So a lot some of the things like Section 5 of the the 1965 Voting Rights Act was overturned by the Supreme Court in 2013.
That started it.
I didn't really understand, again, because I wasn't a political junkie. I was a here and there. I would dabble and I would hear, I really wasn't into it like I am now, in tune with it, like I probably should have been. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even really understand what that meant when they said pre-clearance. I'm like, what pre-clearance? Oh, I don't know Clarence. He's just a sale. Clarence is what's at the store.
Come on now. Come on.
Okay.
Get it together. This is some exciting information because
it is.
I heard it. I understood it to a certain degree, but it didn't resonate.
It didn't register on you. Okay.
It didn't resonate at all. I was like, okay.
Okay.
But now seeing things
I got you.
in motion.
No, they want me to explain what that is. Explain that to people.
Okay. Seeing things put in motion. It's really becoming eye-catching. And
Yes. Section 5 of the 1965 Voter Rights Act simply states that states or counties who had been found guilty of having prejudice laws that were put into place, if you had 3 strikes against you, if you were found guilty three times within 5 years, then you would have to go to the Attorney General, or you would have to go to a federal court if you wanted to change any laws concerning your concerning voters or voter rights. Some of the states some of the jurisdictions, they would change the voting times. They would change the voting places. And people didn't know. What would happen is if you change the voting time and you don't get the word out to everyone in an ample amount of time, you're suppressing the vote. And so what they're looking at is, if you are, and I'm sorry, you asked me over here on TikTok, if you're suppressing the vote and you were found guilty three times within 5 years, then you needed some oversight. You got your hand caught in a cookie jar. If you did it once, got it. You did it twice, but 3 times, now it becomes a pattern, and it becomes more of who you are rather than it being an accident. So
wasn't there a lot of that?
Yes.
In the last election?
Yes, because after 2013, when the Supreme Court decided, hey, we're just going to take this away, we're not going to enforce basically Section 5 of the Voter Rights Act, 1965 Voting Rights Act, that pulled the teeth out of that. No law or no rule is really effective. Is only effective is the enforcement behind it. If you took the enforcement mechanism out, then you could just run rampant. Just do whatever you wanted to do.
Aren't they doing that today?
They're doing it now since 2013. Mm-hmm. Another reason that I believe that is the public, the things that we should do is we should push our Congress people, our congressmen, our congresswomen, our senators to move forth, maybe even with a national requirement for voting. If I'm in charge, if you're 18 years old, you have a photo ID, which you got a license or an ID. You don't have a felony conviction within 5 years. Let's say after you get out of jail, 3 years, 5 years, whatever the number that you want to be. The reason I would put a limit on that is because once you've done your time, you shouldn't be held liable for your past indiscretions forever. It shouldn't be a limit that forever you committed this crime, you went to jail, you went to prison, you did your time, and now we're going to still punish you going forward. I just don't believe that should be the case. If you're 18, you're registered to vote, you don't have a felony conviction, hey, you can go and you should be able to vote. Now, some of the jurisdictions, they would purge you from the rolls. They would find ways to purge you from the rolls. And that's why the 1965 Voting Rights Act had to be put in place, because these counties or states or jurisdictions, they were finding little loopholes on how to suppress more people from voting. The more people you can suppress from voting, and we pretty much already know this, the more people vote, typically the Democrats are going to win. The less people vote, the more you can suppress the vote, typically the Republicans are going to win. So if you could have less people voting, you are more apt to win more elections. So we had in 2018, you had Houston versus A. Philip Randolph. That was in 2018. And that was in regards to removal after inactivity. That's what I just spoke of. If you hadn't voted in a certain time, they would just purge you from the rolls. Don't believe that should be. I believe that if you are 18,
they would purge you from the rolls, but you
inactivity,
have to turn around and
re-register. But
so
what
if
you don't
here in this state?
No, I don't know. I would have to look that up.
So you're just looking
Maryland.
at different samples.
Yes.
Examples.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yes.
Somebody asked a question on here.
Okay, so let me see.
About explain pre-clearance.
Pre-clearance. That's what I just went over. Pre-clearance.
Oh, that's what this
pre-clearance is.
Okay.
That you have to get permission from the federal government
if you violate the law.
If you were found in violation
Okay.
3 times,
Okay.
then if you were found in violation, then you have to get, hey, I know, teacher, I know I've been bad. I know I violated some of the rules. So now may I change this rule? Okay. That's what. Now, if you are, and I'm just.
Didn't you say it was denied? Something was denied by Eric Holder. No, he
lost. He lost.
Eric Holder.
That was in 2013.
That he lost,
Yes.
and so those states were able to.
That was in Arizona, right? They were able to keep those restrictions in place, and so once that happened, the floodgates just opened. They opened up the floodgates. Oh well, he got away with it. It has been over 100 changes since 2013 and voter restrictions that have been, and that's a lot. 100 restrictions put into place since 2013, and that's what 10 years. So
longer than that, it's 2025.
Yeah, 12 years. Yeah, so we have to keep up on the changes that are happening. If our seniors, a lot of these things are probably geared towards minorities, seniors, people with disabilities. So, for instance, if they only have if you say, well, no, there's no early voting, there's no voting by mail, that hurts people who have to work on the second Tuesday of November. If you have to work or you have to travel, you wouldn't be able to vote. So that would be a way to suppress your vote. If you had to, so for instance, on some of the envelopes, you had to put I think it was your
social,
your
signature, you had to sign twice, put your, I guess probably last 4 digits of your social.
Last 4 digits of your social. Or you had to put your driver's license number.
Complicating things, but
yeah,
we know why.
And the more complicated you can make it, the more hoops that you can set up, the less people are likely to go through with it.
But for me, I mean, if it's important enough for you to vote, take off. That's what I say. Take off. Put your leave in early.
Put your leave in early.
We would have you're not taking off the whole day.
We have to be a forward thinker.
You have, yes, a forward thinker. If you know that they're going to be trying to suppress the votes, make sure you have your IDs, whatever it is you need if you're not doing a mail-in ballot. I mean, there are ways to get around things. If you want to do something, you're going to figure out how to do it, right? You're going to figure out how to do it. If you want it bad enough, you're going to figure out how to get it if you want it bad enough. We need to want this bad enough.
That's what it is.
To do it and not say, oh, forget it. I'm not going. I'm tired. I'm not, when I get off work, or I didn't get up early enough in the morning to do this. Because if our votes really matter, then we need to make sure that we're heard. I'm
kind of curious if we have anyone out there between the ages of 25 and 35, what do you believe the top 3 issues for you are? So I'm trying to think back when I was 25 to 35. I don't know what my issues were. I really don't know what my issues were.
That's because we didn't really understand that we had issues. I think we've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, tricked, and all of that. It's been real quiet over the last 60 years since they implemented the civil rights and all of that. And everybody felt like we had arrived, that everything was
exactly.
For the most part, I'm not going to say everybody, because I've been teaching my kids for years, and they used to look at me like I was crazy. But a lot of us felt like we were on equal planes. What do you guys think about that? And that we were growing into a nation that appreciated us and felt that we were equal, although there were some things going on, but they made it seem like it was just the bad people, the hustlers and the thieves and of our community, that they were, and because they're going to jail. With anybody who was doing right. And when we go to work and we're working with people of different backgrounds, we thought everything was okay. We're getting jobs, all of those things. We're able to purchase nice homes. We're able to purchase nice cars and clothes and all of these things. And I call them shiny things, things that they know that we like. We have been put into a trick bag over the last 60 years.
Did you show or discuss the eyes on the prize to your children?
What does that mean?
Yeah,
elaborate on that question. Invite. Okay. The eyes on the prize. Probably. I think I kind of understand that question. Yes. Among other things, making sure that they understood
what type of society, quite often.
Yeah, what type of society we're living in, and that they need to pay attention to certain cues and things of that nature.
I can say for me, you know, we have three children. Our oldest is 28. Our son is 21 and our daughter's 18. But when they were younger, I think when they, I can't remember whenever they had the guy who got killed in Florida, Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
When the Trayvon Martin event happened, I know I had a discussion directly with my son. You are a black boy. You're going to be driving. I think he was maybe 12 or 13 at that time. I said, you're going to be driving soon. You're going to be out here. You need to be careful. Those are discussions that we have in African American families with our children. When my son, I said, if the lights come on, 10 and 2. Put those hands at 10 and 2. I had a little wallet that I put together for him, and it had his registration. He would have his license, and at that time we had to have proof of insurance. Now the proof of insurance is just on your phone. But those three things were already put together in a packet that all he had to do was have it. And before they get there, you already have it out. Your light is on in your dome, 10 and 2, and you're ready to handle this over. The only thing that you say, because at this time he was under 18, yes sir, no sir, wisdom. Those are only 3 words out of your mouth. Anything other than that, I would like to speak to my attorney. I would like to speak to my parents. Can I call my parents? You say nothing out of your mouth. Mm-hmm. Your name,
that's
wisdom,
one aspect of it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing that I would allow my son to say. Anything besides that, I need to talk to my parents. Can I call? Am I allowed to call? You ask for permission. Am I allowed to call my parents? Don't open your mouth.
But, getting back on track about voting, and I made sure that they understood that their vote is their power. Mm-hmm. All 3 of them, when they turned 18 and was able to vote, or whenever the voting age came up, or voting time for them came up, we made sure we told them to vote. Make sure that you review who you're voting. Don't just go with who I want. Make sure you vote for the person that you want to vote for. I didn't tell them about the local voting until later on, mm-hmm. saying that this election is important too. Now my son's in Georgia, so he's got to do whatever they do down there. My 18-year-old, my other one lives way in Louisiana somewhere, so she's got to do whatever. But in this one, she's voting. We're making sure she votes in all the elections.
This was her first election. Because she turned 18 in September, so
Yep.
This was her first election. So, but we always took our children to the voting polls with us as they were going up, and just to get the experience, so they would know what to expect when it was time for them to vote. So, we did
Somebody
that.
says we have to teach our community how voting affects your life.
Yes.
I think our community needs to focus more on, I guess they're saying, on those things. And that's why we're out here. That's why we're doing this. And I think everybody who has an opinion or, feels some type of way about this situation, we all should get out there and do a live if you feel comfortable enough doing that, or at least talk to your fellow person. I know the churches are heavily involved in, voting and making sure that people get out in the community and do things. But we really have to talk to the younger generations about it, make sure that they understand and make sure they understand why. And I think that we have not really emphasized how much our community did back in the 60s to get us where we are today. We do not talk about that. I know I didn't talk about it. And my parents, they talked about it, but not a whole lot. It was like, oh, yeah, I remember when. But it wasn't like, look, these people fought and died, and just make it vivid to them. Mm-hmm, there are documents. Somebody said there's some documentaries out there. There are, and maybe during Black History Month, we make sure that even if you have grandkids or your children, that you say, okay, this weekend we're going to look at this civil rights documentary because you need to understand the importance of the vote. We have to do something to educate these kids because they're not getting it in school
at a younger age.
They're
right.
not. They're not. They skim over that stuff. And if they keep going, you won't get any of that information. So we really need to start educating ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, and doing things that they see us doing. So it encourages them to want to do the same thing or to be curious about the
political
policies and politics. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that kind of leads us into,
yes, that's going to lead us into the Blackout the Fourth movement. So we
invite you all to do this with us.
Yes, but first, before we even do that, please like, subscribe. So make sure you hit the subscribe so you can hit the notification bell. Follow us on TikTok. I guess Facebook, you just follow us on Facebook or Instagram. You can follow us over there. But that leads us into Blackout the Fourth. And what is Blackout the Fourth? It is a movement that we are empowering ourselves. First and foremost, we have to internalize. We have to change ourselves internally before we can ask for anything done externally. Internally, we're looking at massaging our mindset and bettering our positions and understanding what we would like for the future. So the number one, we want to make sure we help you to get out of debt. Change your mindset on your spending habits. A lot of us, and I'm going to say a lot of us, but a lot of people, especially in the federal government, were laid off. What will you do if you are laid off? If you're not in the federal government and you haven't been laid off, thank God. But I want you to think about what would you do if you had been laid off. So start thinking in those terms. How would you react?
How would you spend your money?
How are you going to spend your money, and where are you going to spend your money?
How much of that money are you saving for a rainy day, for a situation like this? Like I always tell my clients, do you have enough money if your tenant stops paying? And that we should be asking ourselves, do we have 3 to 6 months worth of mortgage payments and electric and gas and all of that? Do you have that? If you don't, then you need to put those new tennis shoes down and those designer jeans and start saving your money. Do you have that? Because we're in trying times, you guys. We do not know, and we don't know where this man is taking us. So it's time to start really thinking about your savings, your retirement.
Yeah, we saw. I guess it's a 75. Was it 75, 15, 10? A suggestion. 75% you spend.
Oh, yeah.
15% goes to
investments.
Your investments, and 10% you save
of your income.
Of your income, you save, and so that's where we should. That should be the first objectives is to get to. Can I live off 75% of my income? And if I can't, now I have to look at my subscriptions. I have to look at am I eating out too much? I have to look out. Am I going out too much?
Am I drinking?
Am I
smoking?
Smoking too much? Am I gambling too much?
Right.
My what do they call it? Hobbies or habits? You have to look at those things internally. So first we must change internally. Then once we get those things under control, and when I say internally, I mean our spending habits. On July 3rd, we're looking at directing our funds. As an African American community, we spend $2.6 billion daily. $2.6 billion daily. We would like to direct those funds to Black or allied businesses, people who have our values, value-based spending, people who have your values. That's where we're asking you to spend your money. If the business is aligned with your value, spend that money on the 3rd. Then in this particular case, we're talking about the 3rd of July. Spend that money. Give it to your favorite creator. if you want to donate to us, if we're on TikTok or Instagram or
keep your money in your pocket. Save your money first.
On the 3rd of July, we're doing value-based spending.
Right.
We're directing our money on where our money is appreciated. That's on the 3rd of July. On the 4th of July, which is Blackout the 4th, we're blacking everything out. We're not spending a dime on the 4th of July. We're gassing up on the 3rd of July. We're fixing our sandwiches on the 3rd of July for lunch for the next day if we have to work on the 4th of July. We're partying. If you're partying, party on the 3rd of July. Whatever it is, do everything on the 3rd of July to prepare for the 4th of July. So on the 4th of July, you can sit back, you can relax, you can enjoy your family on the 4th of July if they're coming over, whatever it is that you want to do. But don't spend any money. Don't spend any money.
Because it's not our independence.
Yeah. That's no. Your 4th of July is not our independence. We
thought it was. They tricked us into believing that we were a part of it, but we're finding out, aren't we? We FA.
We the FAF. We the FAF. We find out in 2025. You gonna find what they say. You gonna find out now.
It's not funny, but it is funny. But yeah. So what's the website?
So we're asking you to go to the website www.blackoutthefourth. That's blackoutthefour, blackoutthefourth.com. Take the pledge. Soon we're going to have a petition that we're going to send to our senators and Congress people. We're going to put that up and we're going to ask you to go there. But in the meantime, just simply go to blackoutthefourth.com. Take the pledge. Just simply take the pledge, name, email address, phone number. That's it. And what we're doing is we're priming our mindset. We're getting our mindset set. I typically use this analogy often. We have Wacky Wednesday where it was Wine Down. We had Wine Down Wednesdays. People were drinking. They had Thirsty Thursdays. People were drinking. They had First Friday. We know all the drinking days. We know all the drinking days, the party days. We know all of those. So now instead of us getting our mindset ready to drink, we're going to get our mindset ready for our finances. So we're going to change our finances internally. Then externally, we're going to fight for our rights. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Hey, if you have any questions, please go throw it in the comments. I appreciate you guys showing up. TikTok for showing us the love. Go ahead and tap the screen, man. We totally appreciate that. Over here on where's this? YouTube. On YouTube. Please like, subscribe so you can get more information. If you have any questions, put it in the comments or reach directly out to us. You can reach directly out to us at the website. The email is there. And over here on Facebook and Instagram, appreciate you guys showing us the love as always. All right, go.
You guys can scroll back through those comments because people had a lot of points to make about different documentaries and things like that. So you may want to look back through those comments. I think one of them said Stokely Carmichael. Yeah, and look those people up. So yeah. That's it for me.
So that's it, guys. Make sure you, like I said, make sure you follow us so you can know when we're going live again. Watch our videos, please. All right. So,
and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking your time this evening to come on here with us, and we appreciate your questions and your statements.
It's partner Frankie P,
Maria P,
and this is the BS of Entrepreneurship Podcast. Remember, when you change your perspective, you change your life. When you change your perspective, you change your life. When you change your perspective on Blackout the 4th, when you black it out, 3rd of July, value-based selling, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to change your life. Peace, peace, and peace. Thank you. There we go. And we out. Let's finish this up here.